Hello there, hobby homies. Figured I'd make some more of that high quality content, so I figured I'd open one of these today. Look at it. What are we gonna get? Let's cut it open and see. Pull these back out real careful, like I'm knocking everything down. See what we get. Look at that, no pretty little tear strip on these. Beast. Bloodfield Caves, there's a land. Easy prey. Selective Adaptation. Sorcery. Real top 7 cards in your library. Choose from among them a card with flying, a card with first strike, and so on for double strike. Death Touch, Haste, Hexproof, Indestructible, Lifelink, Menace, Reach, Trample, and Vigilance. Put one of the chosen cards onto the battlefield, the other chosen cards into your hand, and the rest into your graveyard. How about a Labyrinth Raptor? Menace. Whenever a creature you control with Menace becomes blocked, defending player sacrifice a creature blocking it. A black and a red. Creatures you control with Menace get +1/+0 until end of turn. Yorion Sky Nomad. Companion. Your starting deck contains at least 20 cards more than minimum deck size. If this card is chosen Companion, you may cast it once from outside the game. Flying, when Yorion enters the battlefield, exile any number of cards of other non-land permanents you own and control. Return those cards to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step. It's got some shimmer on it. Everquill Phoenix. Mutate. Flying. Whenever this creature mutates, create a red artifact token named Feather with 1. Sacrifice Feather, return target Phoenix card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. How about Anguirus, Armored Killer? That's all sorts of precious stuff. Creature Beast, mutate 1 and 2 greens, reach, trample. Whenever this creature mutates, destroy target artifact or enchantment and opponent controls. Alrighty, here's your first pack. Mindleecher. Mutate 4 and a black. Cast this spell for its mutate cost per under target non-human creature you own. Yeah. Flying. Whenever this creature mutates, exile the top card of each opponent's library face down. You may look at and play those cards for as long as they remain exiled. Mythos of Nethroi. Destroy target non-land permanent if it's a creature or if a green and a white was spent to cast this spell. The Song of Creation. It's got the precious on it. Shimmer. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. Whenever you cast a spell, draw 2 cards. At the beginning of your end step, discard your hand. Nethroi, Apex of Death. Mutate, Death Touch, Lifelink. Whenever this creature mutates, return any number of target creature cards with a total power 10 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Well, there's a Babygodzilla. It says uncommon, but it's got the little hologram on it. Frog. Each creature spell you cast costs 1 less to cast if it has mutate. Whenever you cast a creature spell, it has mutate, draw a card, then discard a card. It's so interesting. I'll check that out. Twinning Staff. If you copy a spell one or more times, instead copy it that many times plus an additional time. You may choose new targets for the additional copy. 7 and tap it. Copy target instant or a sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Lurrus of the Dream Den. Companion. Each permanent card in your starting deck has converted mana, cost 2 or less. Lifelink. During each of your turns, you may cast one permanent spell with converted mana, cost 2 or less from your graveyard. Kaheera the Orphanguard. Looks like it's got the Skittles all over it. I ran it through the rainbow. Companion. Each creature card in your starting deck is a cat, elemental, nightmare, dinosaur, or beast card. Vigilance. Each other creature you control that's a cat, elemental, nightmare, dinosaur, or beast gets +1/+1 and has a vigilance. Pouncing Shore Shark. That was pretty cool. Gem Razor. I'm pretty sure I got this out the last box, that first box I opened. The regular. Breach Tremble. Whenever this creature mutates, destroy target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. Destoroyah, Perfect Lifeform. It's got the platinum on it. Mutate, flying. Whenever this creature mutates, create a red artifact token named Feather with 1. Sacrifice Feather. Return target Phoenix card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. What are we going to get next? Mysterious Egg. Seen a couple of those. Cryptic Trilobite. Cryptic Trilobite enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. Remove a +1/+1 counter from Cryptic Trilobite. Add 2. Spend this mana only to activate abilities. 1 and tap. Put a +1/+1 counter on Cryptic Trilobite. Lavabrink Venturer. As Lavabrink Venturer enters the battlefield, choose odd or even. Lavabrink Venturer has protection from each converted mana cost of the chosen value. Zagoth Triome. Foiled up. Vadrok, Apex of Thunder. Mutate, flying first strike. Whenever this creature mutates, you may cast target non-creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. There you go, right there. Spacegodzilla Death Corona. Death Touch cycling. When you cycle Void Beckoner, put a Death Touch counter on target creature you control. Avenging Huntbonder. Double strike. Whenever Avenging Huntbonder attacks, put a double strike counter on another target attacking creature. Keruga the Macrosage. Oh, that sounds familiar. Starting deck contains only cards with converted mana cost 3 or greater land cards. When Keruga the Macrosage enters the battlefield, draw a card for each other permanent you control with converted mana cost 3 or greater. Zerda the Dawnwaker. Companion. Each permanent card in your starting deck, you know the story, has an activated ability. Yeah. Abilities you activate that aren't mana abilities cost 2 less to activate. This effect can't reduce the mana in that cost to less than 1 mana. Target creature can't block this turn. Portrait Parrot. Vivian, Monster's Advocate. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library. Create a 3/3 green beast creature token. Put your choice of vigilance counter, a reach counter, or a trample counter on it. When you cast your next creature spell this turn, search your library for a creature card with lesser converted mana cost, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Zagothzilla Primeval Champion. Trample cycling. When Cycle Titan Author-X, put a trample counter on target creature you control. What's next, homies? Flawless Maneuver. If you control a commander, you may cast a spell without paying its mana cost. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Mythos of Snapdax. Each player chooses an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, and a planeswalker from among the non-land permanents they control, then sacrifices the rest. If black and red was spent to cast this spell, you choose the permanents for each player instead. Yorion Sky Nomad. Number of non-land permanents you control those. Well, I might have gotten that one already. I'm not sure. Oh, there's the Liger. That's the Heron. Dirge Bat. Mutate, flash, flying. Whenever this creature mutates, destroy target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Ikoria, King of the Cosmos. Flying tramp. Whenever creature mutates, exile cards from the top of your library until the exile a non-land permanent card. Put the card onto the battlefield or into your hand. It's pretty cool looking. Especially with it being shinied up. And there's Kitty. Mage's Turtle. Yay. Boon of the Wishgiver. Netherborn Altar. Artifact. Put a soul counter on Netherborn Altar. Put your commander into your hand for the command zone. Then you lose 3 life for each soul counter on Netherborn Altar. Garuda. Doom of Depths. Companion. Your starting deck contains only cards with even converted mana cost. When Garuda enters the battlefield, each player puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard. Put a creature card with an even converted mana cost from among those cards onto the battlefield under your control. Fiend Artisan, shiny. Fiend Artisan gets +1/+1 for each creature card in your graveyard. Sacrifice another creature. Search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost X or less. Put it onto the battlefield. Then shuffle your library. Activate this library. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. Sea Dasher Octopus. Mutate, flash. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, drop a card. Anguirus Armored Killer. Mutate, reach, trample. Whenever this creature mutates, destroy target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. Man, that's bad looking. Look at that. There's all sorts of. Narset of the Ancient Way. You gain 2 life as spend this mana to call and draw a card. Discard a card. When you discard a non-land card this way, Narset of the Ancient Way deals damage equal to that card's converted mana cost to target creature or planeswalker. You get an emblem with whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this emblem deals 2 damage to any target. Man, that's the brightest one I've ever seen, I think. There's a lot of foliage on that thing. Boot Nipper. There's the crazy eye. There it is. I see you. You watching me. Jirina Kudro. Legendary creature. When Jirina Kudro enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token for each time you've cast a commander from the command zone this game. Other humans you control get +2/+0. Unpredictable Cyclone. If a cycling ability of another non-land card would cause you to draw a card, instead exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a card that shares a card type with the cycled card, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Then put the exiled cards that weren't cast this way on the bottom of your library in a random order. Offspring's Revenge. At the beginning of combat on your turn, exile target red, white, or black creature card from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 1/1. Gains haste until your next turn. I've seen that one before. Ikoria Triome. Dorat, the Perfect Pet. Flying Haste. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Sprite Dragon. Frontier Warmonger. Whenever one or more creatures attack one of your opponents or a planeswalker they control, those creatures gain menace until end of turn. Offspring's Revenge. At the beginning of combat on your turn, exile target red, white, or black creature card from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of the card except 1/1. Gains haste until your next turn. That sounds like I read that before. Zagoth Triome, land. Precious up. Covered in the Reynolds wrap. Chittering Harvester, Cloud Piercer. Zagoth Triome. That's cool. We got that one, and then we got that one. Same pack. King Caesar, Ancient Guardian. Whenever this creature mutates, till creature you control get +X/+this till end of turn, where X is the number of times this creature has mutated. Triumph, Champion of Freedom. Partner with Silver, Devourer of the Free. When this creature enters the battlefield, target player may put Silver into their hand from their library, then shuffle at the beginning of your end step. If you attack this turn, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Obosh, the Prey Piercer. Companion, your starting deck contains only cards with odd converted mana cost and land cards. If a source you control with an odd converted mana cost would deal damage to a permanent or a player, deals double that damage to the permanent or player instead. There's Winota, Joiner of Forces. There's a telephone vibrating. Whenever non-human creature you control attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may put a human creature card from among them onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. Gains indestructible until end of turn. Put the rest of the cards in the bottom of your library in a random order. Cubwarden. Mutate lifelink. Whenever this creature mutates, create 2 1/1 white cat creature tokens with lifelink. Oh, there's one right there. Let's line this up. We got falling. Spacegodzilla Death Corona. It's all sorts of, got the platinum hits, 187.4 FM on your dial. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. Death Touch cycling. When you cycle Void Beckoner, put a Death Touch counter on target creature you control. Well, that's pretty cool. Look at her blowing them flames out your mouth. Right, we got 2 packs left. I think we've done pretty good so far. I'll have to run the numbers to make sure. I'm feeling much better about this than I did about that first box I opened. Almighty Brushwag. Wilt. Eon Frolicker. Flying when Eon Frolicker enters the battlefield. If you cast it, target opponent takes an extra turn after this one until your next turn. You and planeswalkers you control gain protection from that player. You and planeswalkers you control can't be targeted, dealt damage, or enchanted by anything controlled by that player. Hunted Nightmare. When Hunted Nightmare enters the battlefield, target opponent puts a death touch counter on a creature they control. Oh, look at that. The same card almost in a row. Hunted Nightmare with the shimmer and the shine. And we're not going to read all that again, but we got 2 in a row. Zagoth Triome. This land. Dorat, the perfect pet. Flying haste whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Sprite Dragon. Last pack, homies. Let's see what we get. We're going to pull some winners. Mythos of Luna. Create a token that's a copy of target permanent. If a red and a green was spent to cast this spell, instead create a token that's a copy of the permanent, except the token has when this permanent enters the battlefield. If it's a creature, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. Eerie Ultimatum. It's got some foil on it. We'll run it through the Reynolds route. Return any number of permanent cards with different names from your graveyard to the battlefield. I've seen like 3 of these today, I'm pretty sure. Endeth a Triome. It's land. Destoroyah, perfect life form. Pretty sure I got one of these earlier. I don't know if it looks like this or sounds familiar. Mutate, flying whenever this creature mutates, create a red artifact token named Feather with, oh yeah, pretty sure I got that one. And there we go. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Destroy a perfect life form, Endeth a Triome, Eerie Ultimatum. It's got some foil line. Mythos of Luna, Dorat the perfect pet, Zagoth Triome, Hunted Nightmare, the other Hunted Nightmare, Eon Frolicker, Spacegodzilla Death Corona with all sorts of flames coming out of his mouth. Look at him. Scary. Cubwarden, Winota Joiner of Forces, Obosh the Prey Piercer, Trine Champion of Freedom, King Caesar Ancient Guardian, Zagoth Triome, another one, Offspring's Revenge, Frontier Warmonger, Dorat the Perfect Pet, yeah, got you, Ikoria Triome, Offspring's Revenge, Unpredictable Cyclone, Jirina Kudro, Narset of the Ancient Way, that's the one Super Shine, Anguirus Armored Killer, oh, yeah, that's right, Sea Dasher Octopus, Fiend Artisan, Garuda Doom of Death, Netherborn Altar, Gildora King of the Cosmos, Dirge Bat, Yorion Sky Nomad, Mythos of Snapbacks, Flawless Maneuver, Godzilla Primeval Champion, Vivian Monsters Advocate, Zerta the Dawn Waker, Keruga the Macrosage, Avenging Huntbonder, Spacegodzilla Death Corona, the regular one. There's no foil on that. Vadrok Apex of Thunder, Zagoth Triome, Lavabrink Venturer, Cryptic Trilobite, Destroy a Perfect Life Form, Gem Racer, Kaheera the Orphanguard, Luris of the Dream Den, Twinning Staff, Babygodzilla Ruin Reborn, Nethroi Apex of Death, Song of Creation, Mythos of Nethroi, Mindleecher, Anguirus Armored Killer, Everquill Phoenix, Yorion Sky Nomad, Labyrinth Raptor, and Selective Adaptation. That's what we got out of this box. I got 3 more of those just like it. And I got 3 of the Theros Beyond Deck in the super packs like that. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at right there. There it is. Hobby Homie. At Hobby Homie. Twitter. Thanks for watching. See you next time. And I'm out. Like, shout.